Hi, my name is Diana Lanazuri, and today I will be presenting my presentation on Ford Motor Company. So, a few facts about the company is that their corporate mission is to help build a better world where every person is free to move and pursue their dreams. They have 22 offices across the United States, but their current headquarters are in Dearborn, Michigan. They have around 183,000 employees across the United States, and their stock price is $13.46 currently in the stock market as of December 2022. Their management structure is hierarchical structure, which means that decisions are made by the top level executives, such as the CEO and chairman, and then they are filtered to lower level employees and managers in each individual branch. So I'm gonna be going through managerial problems that Ford Company had both in the past, in the modern day, and then I'm gonna give an example of product recall. So the first managerial problem that Ford Company had was that the employees, when the company first started, were having to walk around the company or the factory in order to assemble the parts. And Ford found that these employees were wasting time, effort, and resources. The bottleneck of this issue was the manufacturing process because a lot of time was being spent inefficiently assembling car parts. And Ford's solution for that was to invent the assembly line, which is a system where instead of the employee having to go around from station to station, the parts would move around the employee, which would essentially speed up the manufacturing process. So Ford invented the assembly line system, which at the end of the day eliminated types of waste, including wasting time, and helped eliminate overproduction and defects. A managerial problem that Ford Company is having now, however, is that they're currently losing the race in the electrical vehicle industry. There's currently a lot of competition and demand for electrical vehicles. Specifically, a lot of competition comes from vehicles who specialize only in electric vehicles, or companies that specialize in just delivering electrical vehicles, such as Tesla. So Ford is trying to obviously win that competition. However, their bottleneck issue is again in the manufacturing process because their current supplier cannot meet the demand that Ford has for electric vehicles. So my solution to that would be that Ford needs to outsource to many suppliers instead of just one supplier, because that one supplier is not supplying enough to meet the current demand for electric vehicles. So by outsourcing and hiring many suppliers, they would increase the supply that they have, thus increasing their efficiency in meeting the customer's demand for the specific type of electrical vehicle that they are best at selling at, which there's an image attached there. Another possible solution would be to decrease the demand for electrical vehicles and advertise their alternative vehicles that they also have, because they're currently losing money by waiting around for the current supplier to supply the parts. So by focusing on their alternative vehicles that don't run on electricity, such as the cars that run on gasoline, they would be able to make up for that deficit in profit. So they could reduce demand for electrical vehicles and increase demand for the alternative vehicles. And the last option would be to increase its own production of electrical vehicle parts. So Ford Company has the resources to make electrical vehicles, but they find it cheaper to rely on other suppliers that are abroad. But if they need to urgently meet the demand of customers, they should increase their own production that they are able to do in their own factories. Another managerial problem that they had was a product recall issue. So the issue was that Ford had to recall more than 600,000 cars. I believe the exact number was 638,000 cars over fire risks in November of 2022. So earlier, actually a few weeks ago, they had to recall 600,000 cars because a car part was susceptible to cracking, and if that part would crack, the leakage could result in an engine fire. So they thus had to recall all of the cars that had that particular car part in it. So my solution for that would be for them to emphasize a strong emphasis on quality control, because that should have never happened in the first place. So I would suggest retraining employees on conducting regular car inspections. So they should retrain employees to inspect car parts before they install them. And they should also choose suppliers who can provide high quality car parts. I think this is very important because a lot of the parts that could crack were not manufactured by Ford. They were actually manufactured by their supplier, who is abroad. So they should probably switch suppliers if they can, or outsource to other suppliers so that they can get higher quality parts. Even though it might be more expensive, it would ultimately be better off for the company because it would help protect its reputation. First of all, because they have a bad reputation now that they've had to recall cars, and it would also save more money in the long run because they wouldn't have to take back the cars and now dispose of all the car parts that are potentially defective and put the customer at risk. So, in summary, they could focus more on quality control. They could train their employees on how to conduct regular car inspections, so this doesn't happen again, and they could outsource to more high quality suppliers. So that was my solution, but Ford's solution was actually to create software that alerted the driver on the dashboard to let the driver know when the car parts were cracked. So Ford was actually able to implement new software in order to help customer safety, and this was actually able to help its reputation because now they have more of a better they have a better reputation because they address the problem seriously, and they even created software to make sure that this never does happen again. So that was the comparison between my solution and Ford's solution. And that was all of the things that I researched in my presentation. So thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.